Speaking of giblets, I think one of the craziest things you told me is that as a kid, you voluntarily purchased a whole pig for your birthday.
Oh yeah.
Do you talk about this often?
People love,
We don't have to ham on the story. If
no,
you told
no,
it
no,
a
we
bunch.
can't. We can't. Yeah, I mean, it's, I wanted to figure out how to do whole animal butchery.
At what age?
I was 16.
Wanting to know whole animal butchery at 16, that's the line, dude.
Yeah.
Like 3 years prior, that would have been a diagnosis.
I should have been, honestly, because my mom did not want to deal with like a whole pig in the house, obviously. And so I had to like go through multiple outlets. First, I would go to my mom and she was like, we'll see. My dad went and secretly got it or whatever. So
now, hold up. Are your parents culinary people?
Yeah, they cook a ton.
Okay.
They cook a ton. But even then, it was more so the logistics of the pig.
Right.
They didn't really question it because I'd been cooking so much. They're like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But the thing that was funny is I had to call multiple people for different things. So first I called my uncle. I was like, hey, do you have a bone saw? And he's like, for what? What do you mean? And I was like, I didn't want to tell him because I was like, if he's going to tell my mom I'm going to get the pig. Yeah. And so I'm like, I just need can you just give me the fucking bone saw? Just give me the fucking bone saw, all right? Just bring it to the house at 10 p.m. tonight, and I'll leave it in my room. And so he does it. He didn't ask any questions.
Wow.
Brings the bone saw, and I put it in my room, and I hide it in my closet. And then I was like, when he got there, I was like, by the way, do you have like a blood pan drip tray? Because when you break down a whole animal, like sometimes there's like a little excess blood in there, so you need like a catcher.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you have like a blood pan or like a drip tray or something? He had it.
So he brings you the bone saw and the blood pan drip tray, no questions asked, at 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you store it?
In my closet, in my bedroom.
Okay.
Just fucking there. Honestly, I didn't even really try to hide it.
Yeah.
It was just kind of there. If you open my closet, you're like, oh, let me put some fresh shirts in.
Yeah, it's just there.
Just there.
All right, so then stage 2.
Stage 2. I mean, if I were to, there's a bunch of stuff that happens, but this farmer brings the whole pig and we have to carry it in. And I realize, and at this point, it's the next day. And it's like 8 p.m. So logistically, what the fuck do you do when you're in your house, right? Where do you store a whole, do you know how fucking big, like pigs are big.
Yeah.
They're big animals.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing a half a pig and they cut it in half lengthwise.
Okay.
So it's still like the shape and size of a pig. It's just missing the other half.
So you have a cross section of a pig.
Yeah. It looks crazy.
Yeah.
And we just
so the pig comes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Just that side.
Yep. And then and he walks it in, he puts it down on the counter, the guy leaves. And
does he put it organ side down?
He does.
So it just looks like
yeah, exactly. It's like one leg was like kind of gnarled this one direction. And I'm like, fuck, I got to break this down right now because we can't put it anywhere. We can't even refrigerate it.
And now it's 8 p.m.
It's 8 p.m. So I've like never done this before. I'm like, I guess I'm going to learn right now. And so I start.
Is it on the dining table or was like your island big enough?
It was like kind of like on the stove and on the island and on all over the place. It was like dripping into the fucking tubes of the stove. Like blood is just like dripping. It's like there's like some slime like dripping off the counter. I don't even know where it's coming from. And I moved it over and then its tongue fell on the ground and I was like, whoa, that's fucking bonkers. And yeah, this is a scene.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay. My dad's like, this is gross. I'm going to leave you to this. I can't pick it up.
Because you're too small?
It's just like heavy, dude.
Yeah.
Dead weight is different, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to like muscle it over to the cutting board. Finally get it over there. I look up some YouTube videos. Shout out to YouTube.
Yeah.
And I start figuring out, okay, let me just break this down into pieces so I can get this fucking thing refrigerated.
Hold on. That's so funny. You have a fucking pig carcass on your stove and you're like watching some fucking guy like, today we're going to learn how to, and you're like, come on.
Come on.
And there's no
my mom's going to come home soon.
There's no 2x speed at this point. So you're like, you have to hear the whole.
I'm like skipping around. I'm like, where's the part where they use the bone saw?
Yeah.
And because you have to get the whole point of the bone is to like start break down the bigger, more awkward pieces you can't really cut around, right? Like removing the shanks, you need a bone saw to do. And so that's like the first step in the process. So I'm like, all right, let me remove the shanks. And I'm thinking, okay, my mom's going to be soon. Let me see how fast I can get this done. Maybe if I can just get it down to a quarter size, she won't be as freaked out. And I start sawing, and I don't know if you guys have ever bone sawed anything before, but there's
Not at 16.
yeah. Oh. Yeah, you know all the bone dust that gets everywhere?
Yeah.
And it's like all over your face?
Yeah. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Like bone dust goes everywhere, or like basic, literally bone perfume in the air.
How do people get away with murder when they like cut up bodies? There's so many elements.
I could tell you.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
That's good.
I mean, yeah.
And what's funny is when you're saying bone saw, I for sure thought this is like a circ saw. I'm thinking there's an engine.
No,
on
this
it.
is manual. I'm like literally sawing like
Okay.
this. Yeah, like that one. That's not the brand, but basically that.
Okay.
It looks a lot like that. And it has these super sharp teeth, and you just kind of saw away at it. So I'm doing that, and I get the first shank off, put that in like a bin, and then I start doing the second shank. And I'm at this point don't care. I'm just like, I need to get this done. So I have like fucking blood and bone dust all over. It's all over the counter. It's all over my hands. And my mom walks in, and I'm like, and I have like literally bone dust, like in a straight line across my face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey. Look, we got the pig. We got the pig. And then she just doesn't say anything. She's like, nice. Goes into her bedroom. Like,
Wow.
See ya.
Wow. So not even like you didn't really get in trouble per
No.
se. But was this on your birthday?
I don't know if it was. I don't remember. It might have been.
I thought you said you did it for your birthday.
It was what I asked for my birthday.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know
right.
that it happened exactly on my birthday. It might have been slightly before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you hacked down the pig.
Hacked down the pig.
Did you do it well enough that you could cook any of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I broke it down into like primals, which is like big pieces. I broke down the shoulder and kept it. We froze that and roasted it for like an Easter dinner once. I broke it down into like, big proteins. I figured out how to get the pork loin out of there and cut that into steaks. And yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So first go around.
I
had
got it. Yeah. It's not that hard, honestly, it just takes a long time for your first time.
That really is. So, if you're like a sociopath out there.
Yeah.
Mask it as a culinary interest.
That's right. And also remember that the anatomy of a pig isn't that different from a person.
Is it not?
Yeah, it's not. It's actually kind of similar.
Oh. Did you learn that when cutting it up, or did you learn that from the YouTube video?
I learned it at some point in time.
Yeah.
Every chef knows
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Every chef knows this, yeah.
Can you get by in the culinary industry without ever hacking up an animal? I guess if you just work in the guest service side.
I mean, you don't have to know animal butchery to be a chef. I would say you probably should,
Yeah.
but not everybody wants to do
everyone
that.
does,
Some
yeah.
people are not about it. I remember my first time working at this one restaurant, and they had a whole pig. This is the first time I had ever seen it. The reason why I wasn't so scared of it when I got to it, because I'd already seen it multiple times. I just hadn't done it before.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I ever saw one, two things happened the same day. First day, they had a whole pig, and the butcher's like, hey, Josh, watch this. I'm like, what? And I look over, and he has like the whole pig. This pig is like fully put together. And he just kind of like, there's the head facing me, and I'm like, oh, cool. And it's like
Yeah.
like fucking all gnarled. I'm like
Yeah.
kind of grossed out. And he just goes, knocks on the head, and the whole head just goes into a fucking bucket. And I was like,
That's a fun party trick.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was shocking.
Yeah.
And then a couple hours later, they had a whole cow head because they bought a whole cow, and they're like, what do we do with this? And they roasted the cow head's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And they pulled the cow head, and they're like, Josh, look at this. And it's like out of
Yeah.
the oven. And then the jaw just goes and it just falls on the ground.
Cute.
That was fire.
I can't wait till aliens do that to us.
Dude, you got the spaceship, man. You
Yeah.
just got to get out of here.
Yeah. They're like, hey, Glorp, check this out. And